Okay, I is the here. I promise. Sure, all is good everywhere. Okay. Fucking heck. All right. Hello, Jindra. Hello, Nox. How are you two? Switch. Make sure I can see the chat. Okay. Oh yeah, no, cool. This is very interesting. And none of it's just like... You... Is it just gonna say new... That's that. Stream hopping! How dare. How dare. I haven't played everybody yet, but I've looked at them, which is why none of them are highlighted as new. And of course I haven't modded this game, because I'm still very new at it. I like the idea of the bandit, because rogue backstab. Yeah, Commando is a jack of all trades. Double tap, rapidly shoot an enemy for 100 damage. Fire, piercing bullet for 300% damage. So triple damage, deals 40% more damage every time it passes through an enemy. Roll a short distance. Stunning, suppressing fire. Fire repeatedly for 100% damage per bullet. Number of shots increases with attack speed. In Saga Emerald Beyond, I have a robot with a weaponized sprinkler. Like, does the sprinkler fire acid or something, or... Oh, right, this... What? There's like a weird, like, system to sprint. What was it? Oh, no. You sprint after you do your ability, which is dumb. There's not a dedicated sprint button. Because it's like MOBA control. So, fine, I guess. Oh, you're right. Never mind. It is dedicated to control because there's no crouch. I am the misinformed. Can you tell I play this a lot? Totally. That one. And then R is my ultimate, because R stands for ultimate. Yeah. We are okay. Just a little gold. Nope, how dare you. It reportedly just missed, but it does damage and slows enemies. So it's an acid mist. Hold on. Ow, who's the fuck? Who the hell do you think you are? Okay, I has money, and the objective of this game is to, like, run around, find shrines and shit, and interact with them. What do you do? Give. Give? I don't know what either of these things do. Those enemies on hit. Okay. Oh, you're just... Okay, you're dead now. That's fine. I didn't want any more of your bullshit anyway. Also, money does not carry over from floor to floor, which is that is one of the design decisions of all time. Not sure I'd call it a good one, personally. Kamina? No, they're clearly not Kamina. You're rebuilding my computer relatively soon. Better be soon. Because of your M.2 drive. Also, don't mind me if I start sounding a little drunk. I have downed a can of alcohol, and I have another can nearby. What are you? He is a healing drone. Sweet. Well, don't mind if I do. I shouldn't hesitate to use the right mouse button ability, but I do. Because what if I needs it? What do you got? Muns! What do you got? Muns! Heck your shit. I am level 4. Also, that's synth solo. I have a new M.2 and a 4 terabyte hard drive to use. Nice and nice. I need to get like more space on my computer. Just like a dedicated hard disk drive for, or not even a hard disk drive, but a solid state drive for like shenanigans. Costs an item to make a flashbang. No thanks. Don't know other than that. What? Looks like I could power something extremely unstable. Excuse me? That's from my, like, drop pod. Pardon? What you got? Heal for a percentage of the damage you deal for 8 seconds. Oh, because it's lifesteal or health leech or whatever you want to call it. Haha, I get it. Oh, wait, but then I have to drop the fuel array. I don't know what the fuck the fuel array is for. But I found the fuel array. Thank you, Healy Robot Buddy. I will install all the Nipponichi software games I have. Cool, that'll take all of, like, 3 gigs. Donate to New Altar. Oh yeah, because I have Moonstones, and I don't know if that's such a good idea. Fuel Array is fun. Say that, but I'm over here like, I don't know what it fucking does. Any chance I could get a map, a topographical map of the area game? No? Well, I'm just gonna be fucking lost then, aren't I? Nyum. Fun as in it'll probably end a run sooner than planned. Why am I not surprised? I know I'm supposed to be finding the shrine or the teleporter, but like I also know that you're supposed to run around and just grab shit. A med kit! Receive delayed heal after taking damage. What? Oh, gain a temporary barrier on keel. Keel, yes, keel. Ah, so the Dwarf Fortress definition. Seemingly. We have mushrooms and a necklace. What? Ooh. Personal shield generator. Gain a recharging shield. Don't mind if I do. Ow. Shrine of the Mountain. Doesn't that just make your fucking run harder? Ah! Why is there fall damage? Fall damage is fucking stupid in a game like this. Click it. No, that tells me yes. Fucking troll. Barrel. Oh, that looks promising. Whatever that... Ah! Excuse you! It's a good thing, liar. Whee! Stun grenade. Chance to stun on hit. Why is that on my, like, shin? Technically, I'm not wrong. Why would you holster a stun grenade on your shin? Like on your calf? Like, what? Put that shit on your thigh. What are you doing with your life? Like my mook, my guy, the fuck? Heck you. Gimme. Old War Stealth Kit. Turn invisible at low health. This is another med kit? Yeah, so stronger heal. Because, yeah, everything in this game stacks. So you can get stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks of bullshit. Hi. Dance, buddy, dance. You're not dancing. Why aren't you dancing? How dare. I am all of the disappointed. Oh, look. Put an item in there to get whatever the fuck that is. Is it additive or multiplicative? I think it depends on the item. Something I don't understand is, like, why are all of these 3D printers, like, scattered across the lands? Who put them there? Why put them there? Let me just enjoy seeing these creatures die, you know? What's the other active? I think I'll keep the health leech, thank you. That looks like death, but I know it's not death. Well, I mean, the fall damage might be death, but that's besides the point. Oh yeah, I remember turning down the volume on this game because it's fucking loud. Moolah! And level up. I am now level 7. Take that, motherfuckers. Like a cave down there or some shit? I want to investigate or die trying. I'll let you decide which I do first. Whee! That is dead end. Well, I don't know where the fuck anything else is, so I think we're just gonna use the teleporter at this point. Could be more shit over there, but that's a could be, not a would be. Boss time. The Wandering Vagrant, the Gentle Protector. Okay, neat. Die. Of course the boss is immune to stun. Why wouldn't he be immune to stun? This is just everything I don't like put into a fucking boss fight. You're immune to everything, so what's the fucking point in trying to fight you and use the very special stuff? Also, ow, you're killing me. What? Oh, was that a big giant AoE I should have got the fuck out of? Cool. I like dying very early on in my run instead of being able to learn from my mistakes. Anyway. If you can't tell, I am exceptionally critical of this game in particular. Like, neat, you don't know what you're doing. Die. I'm just over here like, come on, man. I'm fucking new. Also, why you gotta be like this game? Like, I feel like when it comes to game design, there's growing pains, and then there's, like, whatever the fuck Risk of Rain 2 does. I don't know, just, it fucking feels bad when you die. Because it barely even feels like you have a good run going when you die. I don't know. It's probably because I'm still too new. Okay. Pardon? What the fuck? Nani the hell? Excusing me, what the hell? The fuck? Fucking bullshit. Why? You mean when the game arbitrarily kills you? I wouldn't call it arbitrarily. Ostensibly, yes. Oh, cool. One of those moon tokens. Press E to pick up. I obviously want to pick up a fucking lunar coin game. One of the only permanent pieces of fucking, like, currency in the entire fucking game. Just auto pick it up. Devs, why? Devs, why? The money doesn't fucking, like, automatically stick with you, and yet, I automatically pick it up. So why don't I just automatically pick up the lunar coin? Until you get enough unlocks, death can very much be at the whimsy of this game. Because that's fun. Like, yes, I play roguelites, so that way I feel like I am at the mercy of the game rather than, you know, at the mercy of my own skill. I feel like this is part of why I don't like Isaac. Because Isaac is so fucking luck reliant. At least, that's what it seems like to me. A filthy casual at Isaac. Which is ironic, considering. But I feel like people just look at a Rogue-Lite, and they're like, how do we make this? And then they take all the inspiration from Rogue without understanding why that works. Oh, cool, a Lepton Daisy, because that did us a lot of good last time. Like, granted, I'm fucking one to talk. I don't even entirely understand why a Rogue game works. I think it's supposed to be something to do with the fact that, like, it's a, you know... Rogue is also very honest about how much dice you're rolling. That's true. Because Rogue is basically just randomly generated D&D at the end of the day. Honestly, that is precisely how Rogue should work. And that's the difference between a Rogue-Lite and a Rogue-Lite. And I died. What the fuck killed me? It doesn't even tell you what killed you. Oh, the fuel array. Oh. Okay, I'm not picking that up again. Oh, it says killed by commando. Randomly generated, single character, AD&D. Yeah, no. And in fact, many a classic dungeon crawling video game could basically be described as rogue-likes. Because that's exactly what they were. Drop below a certain health threshold and it detonates. I feel like the health threshold is below 50% health. And let me guess, that's required for like a particular unlock, huh? Okay, not picking that up again. But also, the what killed you could have been more specific. Unlocks a character. Yeah, why am I not surprised? I say that with, like, all the malice in the world. I think that's neat, that, like, a challenger... Deal bonus damage to nearby energy... or enemies. I can read. I'm totally not turning dyslexic for some reason. Like, that's cool. My big thing is, like, I don't like it when challenge runs somehow get dropped into my video game to make unlocks happen. You know? Like, I'm okay when it's like, you unlocked a new cosmetic for doing this weird, obscure challenge run. Because then I'm like, oh, huh, neat. Because then most of the time I can just say, like, nah, pass. But in this case, it's like, oh, cool. If I want this specific character, I have to do this challenge run. Oh, awesome. Neat. Amazing. That... Why? This feels like it'd be great on somebody else. War Banner. Drop War Banner on level up or starting a teleporter event. Grants allies attack and movement speed bonuses. Given an option to save up some kind of meta currency over time to skip the challenge run. Yeah, but... Wait, no, hold on. This game was not made after that became incredibly popular. I think that this game was made, like, right before or during when that was incredibly popular. Oh, I found the teleporter. Neat. Huh. Bandolier, chance to kill... Chance on kill, drop an auto and little ammo pack that resets all skill cooldowns. Okay, interesting. Woo! Also, what are the point of the level ups, man? I get that they raise my HP, but if that's all it does, then why have them? Like, I understand that's supposed to keep up with the scaling difficulty in the top right, because the longer you play your run, like, the harder the fucking game gets. But I'm also over here like, okay, but why does it do that? What is the purpose of that other than to kill you faster in your run? Like, hey, you could do this mission thingy or just play the game enough. Like, for a character unlock? Yes, absolutely. And, in fact, that's literally how Super Smash Bros. Melee does it. Like, actually. Oh, heal all nearby allies is standing still for 1 second. Hold on. That includes me. I am now incentivized to just be a turret. There's some weird design in this one. Gunner drone! Okay, neat. My DPS went up. Like, in no other game would I find it like, hey, stand still and you get a regen, and it's a fucking third-person action or hero-based shooter. Rogue-Lite. It's like, wouldn't you want me to not do that? I feel like it'd make more sense if it was just a gradual self-heal instead. or improves HP regeneration. Granted, those are like very boring design decisions. So part of it I can understand is like to the where and why. But this popping up during level ups that's a choice. I don't know. Game's fine. I just find it very boring when I first started playing it. Or found it very boring. Orazo. Glasses, gasoline, or a wrist brace. Critically strike, dealing double damage. More crits. Certain characters benefit more from certain items, like the bustling fungus. Well, I mean, yes, fair. But also, like, I asked the question, like, why? Why is it designed this way? Gain an extra jump. That's an uncommon? In fucking RoboQuest, that's a legendary. Thing is, HP regen is powerful. They want you to do something stupid to get AoE HP regen. Okay, so just make it a personal HP regen. It's already an uncommon item, and it doesn't even have to do much more HP regen. And also, if the burst damage from an enemy is high enough, it ain't that strong. I want to hit tab so I can see a map, because I've been playing too much Last Epoch. But that's not how this game flies. Frankly, unfortunately. Get off that so I can find an active. Oh, neat. Enter a frenzy, which is very vague and doesn't describe shit. That's also something I don't like about... I want to say Rogue-Lite, like this game in specific, but actually Rogue-Lites in general. Sometimes, like, the writer or developer just... Ow? Fuck? The writers or developers take way too much leniency on, like, oh yeah, this item, it does X. And it's like, okay, but what the fuck does X mean? You literally described nothing. And it's like, figure it out, genius. It's like, I don't wanna. Tell me what the fuck X means. Frenzy. Apparently that's a movement speed and attack speed increase. Okay, cool. You could have just said that. Saved us all the trouble, frankly. There are way too many enemies. Ow. Ow. Okay, boss is down. Good. Out of the acid. I disagree with how with the thought about how devs thought about that balance. All right, fair enough. Like, granted, I suppose that this is meant to be a multiplayer-focused game, so excuse me. So, like, there's supposed to be that, like, element of, like, stand still, AoE heal, right? I'm looking at this primarily from the, like, perspective of somebody that's playing it as a single-player experience, right? I also picked up this barbed wire stuff. Razor wire retaliates and bursts razors on taking damage. I want stats. I want meaningful stats. I don't want words. Words are nice, but words also tell me jack shit. Like this indicator, as far as like where the bonus damage is applied, that's great. They care way too much about the theoretical potential of an optimal full party. Yes, that would be my opinion. They care way too much about that and not enough about the solo player. That's why, like, I feel like so many games are so focused and targeted towards what the, like, buffs and items can do. Right? Because, like, you look at stuff like, you know, Gunfire Reborn. Ow. Okay, but, like, you do realize that this is meaningless, right? Because player health regens over time. Means a lot of items aren't really useful until you have like 10 of them. Yeah. Which is like, okay, cool. If you have friends. I said, ooh, resonance disc. Obtain a resonance disc charged by killing enemies. Fires automatically when fully charged. Okay. Utility chest. Propulsion armor plate. Receive flat damage reduction from all attacks. That was one of the items I could have gotten. Also, by how much? It doesn't do me much good to just know that it reduces damage. I would like to know how much so I can know if it's worth my time or not. No. I have a double jump. And like, you throw away your money into the pool, but it's like, to get EXP, okay. I'd like to start the next floor with money, actually. So why don't I? Is this supposed to be a difficulty modifier? Like, what is that supposed to be? I don't know if this makes the game more difficult or if it artificially makes it more difficult. You know? Which comes down to a point. Unless it's a PvP game or like a PvE MMO, let players break the game if they get lucky enough. Yeah, no, precisely. That's one of my big things. Like, let your players break your shit. Like, if it breaks in a way that you really don't want it to break, fine. Nerf it or whatever the fuck. But otherwise, like, let your players break your game. Nipponichi Software literally designed their games in expectation that you are supposed to break it. Monster Tooth. Drop a healing orb on kill. Okay. Also, a blue orb appeared. What? The fuck is that about? That's one of those, like, Rogue-Lite healing pains. Or learning pains. Like, alright, cool. What does that mean? And then you learn, whether it's not, it's worth your time. I decided to frenzy for funsies, but apparently that was a poor decision. What are you? Oh, it's literally just a random drop. Honestly, the point most modern roguelites ignore is the OGs. In the OGs, you could get a lucky drop on early floors that allows you to demolish a run and feel godly. Because they are interested in making a very balanced, fair, and fun experience, which is fine. But, like, why not give the player some early game drop that makes them go like, oh, and then just, like, clear the run, right? I suppose that gets into discussions of, like, well, then you have to talk about game length and potential game length and da-da-da-da-da. In many a case, you have to wonder, like, what are you designing and what does that entail, right? Because I feel like I've had that situation happen in a couple of games I've played, and they're not even roguelites, man. But something dropped, I'm like, oh! And then it carried me through the entire game. Like, sometimes, like, people just make their games breakable. Why? It's more fun that way. Like, why not make your shit breakable? Kind of why in a lot of single-player experiences, I don't understand why devs are so gung-ho about making it so you can't break their game. You know? Those are bigger bullets, but hey, I don't know what it does off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna say no. You guys also, hey, guess what? Those 3D printers, they take a random item from my inventory. So I don't know if they're just gonna take my fucking legendary. They seem real bad, honestly. Why would you design that? Why would you design them that way? Why can't I choose? I'm sure you can, but I don't remember, so I am not willing to take the fucking risk. Oh, cool, we're on hard. I also don't understand the scaling difficulty for length of being in a level. Healing damage heals you. Oh, now I just have that default. The color of text. It takes that color of item. I didn't know that. Also, Justin! Thank you for subscribing. How are things? Things are swell. Appreciate you continuing to support Manus Potion. Hopefully you continue to enjoy those emotes. And when I stop being broke, I will see about getting more emotes. I keep saying that. I do mean it. I just order out too much. How is you? A topaz brooch. So now when I kill shit, I just get shields. Or barrier. Fuck. So crit chance, more shields, and crit chance. Okay, this is just a fucking illusion of choice. Hot or cold, but tested. It's not COVID. Woot. Feeling a bit better today. Double woot. I'm sure to some veteran who's like watching me play, they're like, well, obviously it means this and blah, blah. Here's the thing about many of that, right? Is like, something I would tell people is to understand it's a new player playing the game. They don't understand all of the ins and outs. It's not always easy to see that. But perhaps different from them is that you don't always have, like, this player might not have the patience to sit down and learn all that. Or, God forbid, if you just used a wiki instead. Because, in my opinion, if you do that and you don't try to experience a game baseline, minus Minecraft, because I don't know how the fuck you were supposed to play Minecraft without a wiki open in the first place. Then, like, and again, I stand by, Minecraft is not a well-designed game, by itself. But, you know, if you need a wiki to play your game, it's not a very good game now, is it? Oh, shit. A gold ore... Oh, right. That thing. Fuck around and find out. I bought Risk Ran a while ago, and I haven't been able to make it past the second floor. I don't really understand any of the mechanics. The scientific method, I don't feel like it explains itself very well. That's like the crux of my argument. These games don't explain themselves very well, and yet they somehow expect you to continue playing them, even though you don't know what the fuck is going on. If someone finds that fun, it's great. For me, I just find it frustrating. Because, like, I want to understand what the hell is happening, and I can't. I don't get enough information. A blue orb and a gold orb are now orbiting this thing. Whoa! I don't know if that, what the fuck the blue orb means. Clay Dune Strider, a Ravenous Symbiote. That seems bad. Oh, I'm like, what the fuck is that green line? Like, I suppose... Excuse you? Pardon? Nah, you let the fuck go of me! You don't get to do that shit. Blech. Like, there are some other roguelites, i.e., Enter the Gungeon, that don't always explain themselves terribly well. Yet I feel like you can get an idea if a gun is good or not. Like, just from the minute you try it. But then, by comparison, Enter the Gungeon is, like, very simplistic. Tri-tip dagger, gain 10% chance to bleed enemies on hit. Don't you mean tri-edged? I feel like Gungeon just isn't as complex a game. Yeah, that's very much the case. Like, Gungeon, you have a dodge roll, you have a shoot button, and you can move. So do I want a blue or do I want a gold pill myself? I'm going to the blue portal. Hidden Realm. Oh, okay. Hit things and don't get hit. Different guns generally feel very different. Indeed. Open lunar butt. I have 5 coins. The fuck is that thing? Dream. Guess that dictates my next area? You're shitting me. Really? Okay, cool. Nuts to this shop then, because there's a character I can unlock for 10. Feels like it'd just be smarter to save up my coins. It's probably what made Hades catch on so well with the greater audience that don't usually play roguelites. Combination of story and how it introduces mechanics feels intuitive without being overly handholdy. It also tells you literally everything that each thing does. Like, it gives you all of the information up front. The only specifics it doesn't give you is, like, how much damage theoretically does the sword do? You don't know until you hit button like Skelly. And then Skelly has damage numbers pop up. Then you know. And, like, it allows you to experiment within that stuff. But it still gives you, like, every bit of information you could ever want and need regarding everything. So you never feel entirely lost. You know exactly what you're doing at all times, even if you're not sure if that's a good combo. Right? It doesn't make you want for more because you can see everything that you're, like, because you know what you're doing. Down to the decimal. Ow, ow, ow. Have I tried Hades 2 yet? No, because I'm broke. I also blew the entirety of my 3 months worth of gaming budget in a single day. So, yeah, I don't have any budget for games right now. We're gonna have to wait till after June for me to buy anything new, gaming-wise. Which is fine, because I think Yakuza 5 is gonna take at least that long, and if it doesn't, well, fuck me. Because the next game clearing poll I want to run is going to feature a lot of games I don't own. What did I pick up? I'd have to convert to my budgeting sheet. A Humble Bundle, which had a bunch of games in it. Ow! Fuck you. The rhythm game for the... I want to say Luminous Avenger IX, but no. Azure Striker Gunvolt series. Which, I mean, Luminous Avenger IX is part of that. Some other stuff, too. I pre-ordered Dawn Trail. And I know I got some other... I bought Last Epoch. That was one thing I did. That was a very big decision. I'm currently working on a challenge run for that. Which, it's basically done. I fucking biffed it at 10% on the boss in the level 55 dungeon. I biffed it and fucking died. But, I mean, I'm not far from beating the game on that challenge run, so... Once I get that done, I'll have like 30 hours of footage to go comb through, figure out what I want to do with it, and I can make a YouTube video out of it, which will be cool. Dontrell, don't remind me, I'm still salty about the live letter class change. What? Which one? Lobotomy of jobs? I don't think that's the case. What? Bison steak, 25 max health. Oh, cool. That is a literal drop in the bucket. That does nothing. Also, note, that is the first item that told me exactly what it does. Well, other than like 10% addition, like chance to make things bleed. Astrologian ninja changes specifically. They took Ninja, an overly complicated class, and they simplified it. Like, don't tell me Ninja wasn't overly complicated. That shit was, or rather, currently is. Astrologian, I don't know how they changed it specifically. Frankly, I don't know how they changed both specifically. I'd have to look into it. I haven't reviewed the entirety of the live letter, or articles that have been written thereof. But from what I understand, like, the Astrologian change looked smart. Because... before, you had to rely on RNG to get your cards. Now you just get all 3 that you could need, possibly, to then apply to your party in a context-sensitive way. I feel like that's a pretty smart change. And if the only RNG is whether you do damage with the sword or the king, or if you heal with the queen, which I'm pretty sure is, if I had to guess, just alternates between the two. At which point there's strategy to play to that, and that's good. That's smart, even. God damn it. And again, Ninja, I'm not entirely sure how they simplified. But I feel like a lobotomy of is way oversimplifying and also a bit gross. That's my complaint. There's enough jobs in the game that you should be able to choose between complicated jobs or simple jobs instead of making so there's no complicated jobs at all. that got rid of Inutan? Or no, Hutan. So they did the same thing that they did to Monk, where they got rid of Grease Lightning. Okay. That is like the least offensive change they could have possibly made. Like, when they simplified Monk, I was frankly glad for it because the fucking combos I had to pull off as Monk to do optimal DPS were exhausting in raid environments and also way too high risk. Random me, baby. Energy drink. Increase sprint speed by 25%. That... Other than map traversal, that feels worthless. That does not feel very good. Also, I think that's a fine simplification of Ninja. And as far as, like, the demanding versus the simplified jobs, that's still there, but the, like, the way that it works is not as vast as one thinks. Like, as far as tanks go, if you want to play the complicated job, you play Gunbreaker, because it's 3, like, DPS in a trench coat. And if you don't want to play a complicated tank, you play, and it looks like you continue to play Warrior. Similarly, if you want to play, like, a complicated DPS, it sounds like it's going to be Samurai. Which, okay. Here, equip. Wait, do you just activate that now? So, I feel like these are changes more or less to make the game more accessible, frankly. Also, yes, that is exactly what you do. You just now activate that fucking drum. Fine and good, but what's my complicated option for healer? Now that Astrologian is just a scholar, but healing. That is still scholar. Or sage. Neither of them are very simplistic. Also, since when was Astrologian complicated? I'm sorry, but Astrologian is fucking easy. The only thing that was complicated about it is you had to juggle putting cards on people. Which, okay. You have one extra thing about doing to people that... Oh, hold on. The DPS just fucking walked into bad. Now I have to heal the DPS and take my focus off the tank for... Oh, right. That's right. You know, had to do that anyway. You had to take your focus off the tanks. So they just... You know... They made it so it's a little bit easier so you don't have to fucking do math in your head while also, like, juggling your focus. I feel like that's fine. But yeah, like, the complicated healers have been Scholar and Sage because they're shield healers. That's their whole thing. You're supposed to shield people to stop them from taking damage. You are damage prevention with those classes. You don't do all of the healing in the world. In fact, if you need to do all the healing in the world as those classes, you're playing those classes wrong. $194? I don't even know what these do, but you look cool. Toggle the fire, costs gold per... I immediately regret picking you up. Astrologian used to have shields as well. That has long since been changed, my dude. And in fact, Astrologian had a stance to switch between being a regen healer or the shield healer because they were supposed to be adaptive. Because you only had the one regen and one shield healer. So now there's 2 and 2. And if anything, removing that stance made it so, like, fewer astrologians got the opportunity to be toxic pieces of shit. Because there were multiple times when I played astrologian, and there was an astrologian in my party, and, like, I would want to be regen healer, but they popped their regen stance, so I just said, all right, fine, I'll do shield. Or, you know, vice versa. I mean, Aspen 5.0 and really enjoyed it. They just haven't been able to enjoy it since. Well, okay, fair. That one I don't have a comment on. That's an okay, fair. Something is doing that. Oh, you know what? Mired earns siphon health from nearby enemy units while in combat. Huh. So that boss dropped that. Interesting. Now, I imagine that you're not necessarily alone in not being able to enjoy Astrologian anymore, because I mean, White Mage, this, like, expansion, from what I've understood, has always had MP problems. Astrologian was something you played for, I believe, raid environment. Scholar you played for fun. And Sage just kind of was there doing its own thing. No problem with simple jobs. Reaper's one of my favorite. Reaper is simple? No, I'm kidding. If anything, I'm biased. Like, I played Monk, and especially played Monk, like, for raids and shit during Stormblood. And that shit was not easy then. So, when people want to make an argument about, like, the easiest DPS, like, I used to joke, oh, Samurai was easy, Monk. Samurai right now is currently the most complicated melee DPS. Post those changes, Ninja is more complicated currently. So I can't make that joke anymore. I still fucking do. Because I have a bone to pick with Samurai. But, you know, that's just a me thing. Foreign fruit, heal on use. Okay, cool. Panic button. But again, I'm biased, right? Like, is Monk the easiest of the melee DPS? Probably not. Far from it. But I like to make that joke because it's pretty fucking easy. At least where it sits currently. I would argue Samurai is still more difficult to optimize. That's my point currently. Samurai is harder than Monk. I just have a bone to pick with them, so I will, to the ends of the earth, always say Samurai is easy, Monk. Just to bully them. But Ninja is easier to mess up and play really badly. And that's, from what I understand, still going to be a thing. You can still fuck up your Chi 10 gene. Like, you can still fuck that up. And you will actively be punished if you fuck it up too hard. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Fuck you. Tenchi Jin. I got it. But yeah, press the wrong buttons, your DPS suffers. And it's probably still going to be the only class that does that. You press the wrong buttons, your DPS just straight suffers. Specifically with the Tenchi Jin. Well, the skill Tenchi Jin ends if you move a pixel too. Yeah, I know. It's like one of the most punishing melee DPS currently. Is Viper going to be more punishing? I don't know. It doesn't look like it will be. Viper looks like it's going to be pretty technical, though. But yeah, no, like, I feel like as far as like ability technicalities go, like for her number of abilities that they get to use, Dragoon is still the most complicated melee DPS. But as far as like true complications go, Samurai is the most technical. Post this change, again, I'm not talking about Ninja, because Ninja is just period the most complicated and the most punishing. I'm excited for Viper. I didn't think I'd enjoy Reaper when I first saw it, but it became one of my favorites. Oh, the more banners you have, the bigger the AoE. Okay. Although I do have a bias for sides. Fair. Sides are cool. Anybody tells you that sides are not cool, they clearly don't like the Grim Reaper. But yeah, no, like, I've always stood by that. If you want to play the harder healers, you play the shield healers that are like dedicated shield healers, because shield healer is not easy. The changes for Sage look like that they're going to be good though. Like AoE die. Thank fuck. I'm also excited to play what I'm going to call the Phoenix Wright Mage. You can't tell me that that's not what Pictomancer is. It's literally playing Phoenix Wright in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but with pictures rather than bits of evidence. It's just Phoenix Wright Mage. That's all they are. They're the Phoenix Wright Mage. Let me paint you a picture. No thanks, I'm good. Ow. Please stop shooting me. Your mini guns hurt. This is bullshit. I wish I had a gun that big. That! How are you dying? What? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. What part of this build is busted? None of this makes sense. Where is my healing drone? I had a healing drone. This is my second favorite healer, or... Wow, gotcha! Chat is moving. ATG missile mark 1, chance to fire a missile. Neat. Do I have a fucking spider sense or something? Because, like, why is my head glowing red? Oh, no, it's the frenzy effect. Never mind. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Does Rain 2 still have rising global water levels? Good question. I have no idea. Just gonna have my money. Give me EXP, I guess. Sage is my second favorite healer right now. It seems like a good balance of impact and reward for good play. Or I guess probably favorite after 7.0 Astrologian. What's my opinions on the graphics update? I know people had some pretty strong opinions on how different their Warriors of Light look in it. I didn't notice anything, but I am infamous for not spotting that kind of shit. I say I'm infamous, but nobody knows within this circle that, like, I can't spot that shit, but for crying the fuck out loud, I play indie games. I don't care about graphics. I didn't notice jack shit, but people apparently spotted stuff. And when the, like, before and after was shown to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's weird. So I didn't notice jack shit, but I'm glad that, like, the Square Enix devs reworked the lighting engine so everything looks better, as well as smile lines and shit. What is that? This is my first time making it this far, so what is that? Ow. You're supposed to be a boss! Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for going away. I think you're supposed to be a boss too. What the fuck? Why? I guess it's because I'm on I'm coming for you difficulty. Faster to fire plus bleed. I guess? Bleed do that much? It's a 10% chance to bleed. It really shouldn't be that impactful. Time to run and gun. I would like to run and gun, but I'm currently making sure that I'm not going to die because of a giant magma snake. Personal shield generator. Cool, that's like no health. Awesome. %10 to add stack, stacks add fast. Oh, I guess it doesn't talk about length of the debuff, huh? This is weirdly my best run. I don't know how I should feel about that. Oh, cool. Even bigger AoEs. Neat. Okay, what are you and why are you broken? I'm just gonna tell you you're not allowed to shoot. Okay, cool. Reduce damage. By how much? Still not told me by how much. I was gonna ask, is that thing still alive? Well, I guess I better get the hell out of here, huh? Well, I'm glad I went with my instincts and said, you know what? I'm gonna walk on this. That looks like a thing. Found the teleporter. Ooh, green. Do I think Helldivers 2 is worth getting? No. Not while Sony has pulled their bullshit. No. Otherwise, I mean, I didn't hate it. Okay, so with that, I'd now just get periodically healed, huh? Just thinking of third-person shooters. And, like, that's my opinion. Because, like, the whole situation is that, like, the game originally released with the implication that eventually you were required to have PlayStation Network accounts to be linked to your Steam account for whatever fucking reason. Sony states that it's a security reason. That's goddamn bullshit. But, due to whatever reason, Arrowhead disabled it day one. I think their official reason is because their servers were overwhelmed, so they couldn't get it to work day one. So they just disabled it so people could play the fucking game. But they never went back and said, like, oh, hey, we're now enforcing this like a month in. You guys need a PlayStation Network account. I didn't think it was a big deal. I already linked my PlayStation Network account. But then, like, you know, fucking 4 months in, now they're saying, hey, to all the people that now bought this game, all million plus of you, if you haven't linked a PlayStation Network account, you need to link one. Sony and Arrowhead made that as a joint statement. Though I suppose it was pushed mostly by Sony at this point, but still, both parties are to blame for it. They gave us, like, an ultimatum date. If you didn't link a PlayStation Network account, you were screwed. Cue a lot of people being really upset and bringing this game down to, like, 25 or whatever percent positive reviews. Really bad. Like, I think Steam reached out to Sony and said,
hey, you gonna do something about this, or what? Because now we're starting to look bad.
So, Sony backpedaled. They said you were no longer required to have a PlayStation Network account. That's what they said, right? So, cool. People are happy and excited again. Here's the kicker. From what I understand and from what sources have led me to believe, sources being, I think, the API on Steam. If you look at where you can currently access and buy Helldivers 2, if you want to be a new player and play Helldivers 2, there are 180 countries that you are not allowed to buy the game on Steam. You want to know what those 180 countries are? The countries where you're not allowed to have a PlayStation Network account. Do you want to know who made that change? Sony. This has ruffled some feathers. For obvious reasons. No new players within 180 countries, including Puerto Rico for some fucking reason, even though it's a territory of, like, the United States. And the global version is not allowed in Japan. Japan has its own version. So it's like a partial block there. But yeah, if you're on PC and you live in those 180 countries, which is like a lot of them, shockingly, including some territories in the EU, you're not allowed to buy the game. You already bought it, you already have it. So, you know, no harm, no foul there, I guess. But hey, if your friend didn't buy it before and they want to play with you now, they can't buy the game. Legally, anyway. They have to go against terms of service and use the VPN, which I know people are not against doing, but that's technically against terms of service. Sony has also applied this to the recently released Ghost of Tsushima Definitive Edition on Steam. You cannot buy that in 180 countries where you need a PlayStation Network account. I don't know what the fuck Sony is thinking. Like, do you hate money? Sony, do you just hate money? Because if you hate money, you could just say it out loud. That's fine. You know, I'll take it. I'll take the money off your hands. That's fine. But, yeah. If you're still fine on buying the game after that, I mean, frankly, all power to you. Personally, like, I would recommend people stay the fuck away from Sony IPs for the foreseeable future until they fucking backpedal on this, because that's fucking bullshit. You shouldn't be told that you're not allowed to buy a game just because of where you spawn, right? Or where you're currently living. On Steam, for fuck's sake. And, like, the whole PlayStation Network thing became a giant ass debacle, too. I won't necessarily get into it here, but it was a thing. Like, in short, various people were saying various things about whether or not you need a PlayStation Network account to play Helldivers 2, and bits of information that people were citing to were updated by Sony as people were pointing it out. It was a thing. Lots of feelings were hurt. Lots of people said shit. Everybody lost. I mean, shit, I technically lost a friend over this entire debacle, too. I'm still reeling from that fact, but I mean, shit happens. I feel like I need to get a fucking move on. There's a lot of enemies spawning, and we're currently on what I presume to be the highest and now increasing difficulty of ha 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 ad infinitum. I wonder if they'll walk that back too. I remember reading that change to countries on Steam happening before Sony walked back on the PlayStation Network thing. Where? Because that's news to me. And even if that's the case, they still walked back on the PlayStation Network thing, but they then made, like, either before or after they said that, they then did that dick move. That's not okay. Like, yes, you are allowed to choose where you sell your games, and if you don't want to, like, you know, do a hassle with, like, translating it so that way it's easier for players in that region to play it, fine. But I can buy games that were developed by Chinese developers here in the United States on my Steam. And while I don't really have an incentive to buy those, because, like, I wouldn't understand the story to save my fucking life, because they're not localized in English, I can still buy them. You know? And I'm sure there's, like, probably a few Russian games if I dig deep enough. Or, you know, German. French. Loads of games on Steam. If I dig deep enough, I'm sure I can find some that haven't been localized in English, and I could probably play them. They haven't walked back the country band thing yet. I just wonder if they will. I wonder if they will too. They won't, provided that players don't make a big enough stink about it. That's my opinion, because players made a big stink about, you know, oh, we need a PlayStation Network account to play on Helldivers. That literally will lock people out of the game that they paid $40+ for. Right? And, like, to reveal a little bit of my personal life, your boy considers Iron Mouse an Oshi. Iron Mouse is Puerto Rican. Iron Mouse loved the fuck out of Helldivers. If they continued with the PlayStation Network push, that would mean that Iron Mouse couldn't play that game anymore. At least within terms of service. That's horseshit. And, like, Iron Mouse loved that game. Come on, man. You don't do that to people. I'm frankly baffled that, like, a territory of the United States, you can't make a PlayStation Network, like, account for. Seriously? Why the fuck not? Like, honestly, if anything, I'm just baffled by that. There's a whole slew of things I'm baffled by. Up to and including, like, does that territory have the right to vote on U.S. elections? No? Why the fuck not? But anyway. That's just some stupid bullshit that, like, you can read up on. Like, not every territory of the United States has voting rights. And I look at that and I'm like, why? Federally, we are their prevailing government. Why don't they get the rights to vote on shit? Anyway. Although at the end of the day, welcome to Japanese company. Here's the thing that's going to blow your fucking mind. Sony is no longer a Japanese company. It's based in the United States now. It is a U.S. company. The head of Sony is in the U.S. So this was a United States decision. That makes no fucking sense to me. And, like, just to verify, because I remember seeing an article about this shit, but where is Sony headquartered? They say it's in Tokyo, but when was that? They currently say Sony. Sony Corporation of America, located in New York, New York, is U.S. headquarters of Sony Group Corporation, based in Tokyo. Interesting. I swear, I remember reading at some point that they moved their fucking headquarters to the United States. Maybe that's wrong. I have been misinformed. Sony CEO is still Japanese. There's still that culture within their leadership. Yeah, but that doesn't make any fucking sense. And also, the global version of a fucking game that is available on Sony is not available on for your PlayStation Network players. What? Because Japan has its own version of Helldivers 2, and it doesn't include some of the things that, like, the global release does, which are the microtransactions, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I was mistaken on that. I swore up and down that Sony was stationed in the United States, but no, it says here on their website, which, I mean, it's copyright 2024, so unless somebody forgot to make a change, it says it's based in... Like, there's Sony of America that's in New York, New York. But otherwise, Sony... Headquarters of Sony Group Corporation based in Tokyo, Japan. Headquartered in San Diego. That's electronics. Sony Pictures Entertainment. That's irrelevant. Sony Music Entertainment. Sony Interactive Entertainment LLC is responsible for keeping PlayStation growing and thriving in the United States, Canada, and Latin America. The San Mateo, California office serves as headquarters for all North American operations. Wait a minute. City Rewards loyalty program. as other businesses. So wait. Apologies for derailing the stream, but now I gotta know. PlayStation PC LLC. Okay, is that still Sony Interactive? Because that could either be Sony Corporation of America or Sony Interactive Entertainment that did this publishing, which would then be making these decisions. Because that doesn't make sense, that, at least to me, because why would the fucking current CEO of Sony Entertainment America, or Sony Corporation of America, come down on and tell the publishing branch what they should do, right? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you go to that length? Because Occam's razor in that case is that just the publishing branch made this decision. Like, they didn't go through any bureaucratic nonsense, or if they did, they had, like, a meeting about it. I'm sure it's to boost PlayStation Network numbers. That's kind of tinfoil hatty, like, conspiracy theory kind of stuff. Like, I can't say that's the case or not. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Like, that's the conspiracy, and I agree with that conspiracy, if we're being honest. But as much as I agree with it, I can't push that as, like, that's what they're doing. You know? So, this doesn't click in my brain. Like, sure, Sony as a whole is still a Japanese company. But the branch that would influence where the games are being sold on Steam is based in America. So who pulled the fucking trigger? I think I like strawberry lemonade alcohol more. I couldn't tell you. I guess it could be either. So really, I wasn't entirely wrong when I thought that Sony was based in America. It's just Sony as a whole is still based in Japan. The part that we're concerned with, the publishing part, is based in America. Which, now that I think about that, that explains a lot about the decisions that they made regarding games that are allowed to be published on their own consoles. Which is also very stupid, but makes a lot more sense. Huh. Well, anyway, back to the game. Activate this portal so it calms the fuck down, because I don't think the difficulty can get much higher. What is that? What is that? What? Ah! I'm alive. Do you fucking mind? Ah! Yes. Yes, they do fucking mind, apparently. You know, as much as it's probably not actually that funny, I do get extremely chuffed whenever I make those over-the-top reactions. Like, it's getting blasted up, like, hundreds of feet into the air, like, well, not... Well, actually, that might be. That's pretty high up there. Anyway. But getting blasted, like, several yards into the air is definitely, like, a situation that demands that you scream a little bit. I'm just surprised that there was something to land on up there, so I didn't die. Okay, die, please. Die, please. Thank you. Anyway, bottom line, what was I saying about Helldivers? Oh, right. If you want to buy it. That's fucking fine. Just be aware that Sony's being stupid right now. Anyway. Moving on. Hi. Wait, what the fuck? Oh man, one of my equipment drones broke. Are you friendly? Well, that answers that question. Technically, no. Or if he was, I killed him. The hell is that? Oh, it's one of those shrine doodads. Okay. Yeah, the Final Fantasy 14 payment scandal thing, right? Similar thing. That's just some weird ass like logic. That was a scandal and is still something that I'm like, Square, fix your shit. Cause I still don't understand what the fuck that's about. Cause this is in regards to like how Xbox is handling making you pay the Final Fantasy 14 subscription, right? I want to make sure we're on the same page before I start, like, spewing shit. Or yapping about this, rather. Because I've got a friend that's playing on Xbox and has to deal with that shit, and it's like... It sounds like the most asinine bullshit and most roundabout way that you could make someone pay for a subscription that I'm like, why? Who made that decision? Because no way in hell did Square say that that was their decision. At least I would hope that they wouldn't say that. Wee EXP. This is the furthest I've gotten. What the fresh hell is this? The primordial teleporter aligns with the... What? What does that mean? Also, are we sure these are fields? This looks like a zone in Outland. I'm gonna be real. Also, the mushrooms are attacking me. Like, why are the mushrooms attacking me? Second bandolier, so I guess it's a higher chance that the ammo pack will drop. What is that? Oh, it's just a guy. Referring to them changing their payment processor and removing some types of payment that they were accepting. Oh shit, that didn't affect me, so that wasn't a controversy I was aware of. Okay, no, I'm not aware of that. Leaving basically only American credit cards, PayPal, and Amazon Pay. Okay, cool. So I just got grossly out DPS. Wait, Templar, I got Macho, Monster like Jellyfish. Okay. That's curious. Prevent some people in different countries from paying. They're using other methods. Huh. Yeah, because that... I imagine that Krista's, you know, can only be bought with those methods now, huh? I was not aware of that. Who? I'm curious, when was that change made? Like, of course I can look it up, but... Japanese company things, I swear, man. But the thing is, right, is like, that wouldn't... or that shouldn't affect the Japanese end of things. At least theoretically. It was on April 5th. That was a month before... That was a month after. Why the fuck did they make that change? It wasn't exactly a month after, it was like 2 weeks after, but like, why would you make that change? On April 23rd, Square Enix changed their payment processing company, and with it a few payment options are no longer supported, named JCB, Carte Bleue, SEPA, ELV. Major change is that card payments will now check that your Square Enix account address and your card's billing address match. According to Reddit post. Important updates about purchases and subscriptions. The change to the payment processor used for purchases of Final Fantasy XIV, Mog Station, Final Fantasy XIV Online Store, Square Enix account management sites is scheduled to be implemented on April 23rd. This note was released on April 5th. This should not have an impact on most purchases, but we want to share some information to help this transition. We'll be confirming the address for the account for payment security purposes. Interesting. You can confirm and update your registered address by logging into Square Enix account management system, accessing the account information section from the account menu. I should make sure that that's changed. This change should not have an impact on customers who have a recurring subscription. However, customer payments begin using the new payment processor as soon as any change is made to an existing subscription plan, such as changing the payment method or setting up a new recurring. Please note, some payment methods that are currently offered will not be available after the transition. While we are planning to add more payment methods in the future, for now you'll need to choose from the available payment methods, which is Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, PayPal, blah, Amazon Pay, and PaySafeCard. Fortunately, we will not be able to accept JCB, Carte Bleue, SEPA. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Definitely wasn't a Final Fantasy team thing. Square shenanigans will always affect it. Yeah. I'm curious, what... What is a GCB card? A Japan Credit Bureau?
What the fuck?
Okay, that's a weird-ass change. I mean, it's not impossible to route that through a PayPal account, which is, like, that just leaves a nasty fucking taste in my mouth. Like, I already don't like PayPal, because they're an American-based, like, company that, like, really like, they really like to get their grubby mitts on people's money. And boy, does it fucking show. Okay, what about Carte Bleu? Carte Bleu. Was major debit card payment system operating in France. Oh, man. Square also want to make NFT games. Please don't fucking remind me about that CEO, and I think also now the current CEO. There's a reason I mostly only pay attention to the parts of Square that I actually fucking like. Namely the mainly the Final Fantasy teams. Like, it bothers me enough that their CEO is just a fucking walking, talking twat. I'm currently making sure I understand this full situation. What is SEPA? Okay, well, that is an acronym for the Scottish Environment Protection Agency. But SEPA ELV. Method of payment very common in Germany. Okay, so this would alienate particular Japanese card holding, like, subscribers, which is really fucking weird, right? Like, I feel like of the audiences you can cater to, you should probably continue to cater those that are within your own country. French and German. That's quite a number of players. Okay, so what payment methods does PayPal accept? Allows you to make payments using a variety of methods, including PayPal balance, a bank account, PayPal credit, debit, or credit cards, and rewards balances. Okay, but could you expand upon that, please? Like, what companies and what cards do you accept? Use the following cards, including prepaid cards. All the American ones. Okay, what about Amazon Pay? Amazon Pay accepts credit and debit cards. Credit cards are currently accepted include Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, Diners Club, and JCB. Okay, so they have a roundabout way to go through it. It's not ideal, and that's a really shitty change, but they're fine. So, what about Carte Bleu and SEPA? What about your French and German audiences? Are they just fucked over? Because if so, that's real shitty. Albeit, compared to the Sony situation, that's not nearly as bad, but that's still bad. Like, that should not be the case. Unfortunately, this is outside of, like, Final Fantasy XIV's hands. Like, this is because of Square, I would expect. Like, I don't think a development arm of a company gets to decide what payment methods they get to accept. That's up to, like, accounting, which is a whole other ass arm. Pay Safe Card. Discover how you can pay online in cash. By the Bancorp Bank. At a sales outlet near you and use the 16-digit. Interesting. This might be the roundabout way that Carte Bleu and Seba can use. That's still real shitty, right? MasterCard is accepted. Okay, so theoretically, you could just buy one of these and use it in lieu of your card, and assuming... Jesus, it's actually in Austria, which I believe is in the European Union. So I would expect that this is also available in Germany and France. Really shitty, really roundabout. Square's going to lose a good number of subscribers, and they're probably not going to come back, even if that method is reintroduced. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it, Square. That's a real shitty situation. Based on what I can tell, though, everybody does have an answer to this change, so it's mostly just an inconvenience. So if people genuinely care, they can resubscribe using a different payment method. If they don't care enough, they can leave. But, like, in this instance, at least there's a workaround that, like, allows you to continue going for it, from what I can understand. At least it's not like, if you have these different payment methods, you're not allowed to continue playing our game, Sony. So that sucks. From what I can understand, though, like... Ooh! Question. If you renew your subscription through Steam, what does that count as? Because I renew my subscription through Steam. Like, this would only apply to people that, like, bought their game through Steam like I did. But I know I'm not alone there. Does that matter? Or is that also a workaround? That's a question that I'm curious about, actually. Probably doesn't matter. I don't know. Because it's an extra step. You're using a middleman. In the same way that, like, PayPal or Amazon Pay or apparently PaySafeCard would be. Because my payment goes to Steam, and then goes to Square. So the question is I meant like I don't think this would affect Steam users. Oh, you know what? You're probably right. I would still like to know like the official answer from like Square's side of it. Like, is resubscribing through Steam like affected by this? But if you want to use that as a workaround, you don't have a Steam copy, you have to pay another $60 for a Steam copy. That's true. That's very true. Actually, wait. That might not be the case. Let me log into my Final Fantasy 14 account. I'm sorry we're not playing the game right now. I just don't really have enough time for another run. Mog Station. Not a robot. Remember my ID. Give me a second. I gotta put in my one-time password. Because I've got two-factor. Or multi-factor authentication. Don't update. Because I thought it was changed recently, actually. It was. It was changed recently. It was changed recently. I remembered this. Because I took a look at what all accounts were, like, registered on my, like, Final Fantasy 14 account. As far as, like, the game is concerned, I have both the Windows 10 version, or the Windows version, and the Steam version, even though I only ever paid for the Steam version. I think if you bought, like, standalone from the Square Enix store, you could put in the account, like, or the product number into Steam, register it on Steam, provide that you're, like, playing on Windows, and then have that re-up your subscription. Like, if you want to play the game on Mac instead of PC, you have to buy it again. Yeah. Like, I have to buy it again if I want to play it on Mac. I have to buy it again if I want to play on PlayStation. I have to buy it again if, for some godforsaken reason, I want to play it on Xbox. But if I want to play it without Steam DRM, it seems like I could theoretically download the installer from this site and just install the game. Not have to run it through Steam. Theoretically. Nothing says I can't. At least not anymore. That used to be the case. It used to be that the Windows version and the Steam version were different. Now it appears that they're the same. Which is interesting. Oh, I don't need to change my account information. Yeah, it's just a Windows version. So, theoretically, if I can find a installer that's not part of Steam and not riddled with malware, I could install it without Steam. Maybe if you buy the Steam version, you get the PC version. It's definitely not the other way around, because I only have the PC and not the Steam version. Yeah, but I wonder if you can't register the product with Steam, and then you can run it through Steam. You know? Like, that's now a question I want to have answered. If you just paid for the PC version, could you register the product in Steam and run it through Steam? For many people, I don't know why you would, but you know, it's a question. It's a question all the same. I got pretty far in that run. I'm very disappointed that it just fucking ended because I got like 3 shot, but whatever. I don't know. I'm still not sold on the fact that I bought Risk of Rain 2. It's an alright enough game. So, why? Why do I have to click on every individual thing? I have also apparently not found even remotely close to, like, half of these things. Or maybe I have. But visually it doesn't look like the case. I think I got Risk of Rain 2 for like $7. At least with sales on these games, I never paid too much for them. I want to say I paid full price for this. Or even if I didn't, I'm still not terribly impressed. That's not to say that, like, this is a bad game. That's to say that, like, you know, for the purposes of me, myself, and I, this game could have been better. Also, there's a second page. God, that means that, like, I don't even have half. But, you know, per the norm, I am but a single person, and my opinion is not the end-all, be-all of all importance. Also, none of the environments get stored, even though I've been in them. Okay, really? Yeah, that's why I've got that. And the game's fine. I just have opinions about the design and balance of it. I also, God, what else is new? And I also have opinions of, like, just its general feel. Like, this is definitely one of those games that would probably be better if I were playing it listening to a podcast. And I hate playing games that by itself, that's kind of how they're supposed to be played. Unless its name is Spirit of Seasons. But those kinds of games I play while just vibing anyway. Like, maybe I should play this with friends and see. But if it's more fun with friends, then I already know my opinion on that sort of design philosophy. More fun with friends. Everything is more fun with friends. Even watching paint dry is more fun with friends. But yeah, I'm getting a little tired.
Which I have just recently learned that I have moderate sleep apnea, so that's probably why.
Believe me, that's not fun. Let's see who's streaming. I think Dove is streaming, and if Dove is streaming, we're rating them. Sleep apnea is not fun. I was told apparently my oxygen level dipped to 77% for about a minute. The doctor told me that it dipped to 77%, and I'm like, I'm just like, oh God. Because I already know that your oxygen level's not supposed to dip below like 90 in a worst case scenario. What does that mean? I stopped breathing is what it means. Yeah. Having sleep apnea means the 77%. So that means that like the oxygen content in my blood was starting to run dry. Like, normally... Here, I have one of these devices, actually. Normally, the oxygen content in my blood is measured at about 97, 96%. Which is supposedly, like, how your blood is red. Right? Because your blood cells are carrying oxygen within them. So when it starts dipping down lower than, like, mid to high 90s... Like, something's wrong. When it starts dipping below 80, something's very wrong. Like, your body is just not getting oxygen. Which can lead to a lot of things. I don't know all the things, because I'm not a doctor, but if ever a doctor tells you that your oxygen level, when you sleep, dips below a certain percentage, and it happens to be that percentage, you might have to be on a CPAP, which is something that I have to talk to my sleep doctor about, which also means that I have to go into the lab to sleep for a night. Yeah, generally fixed by having a machine continually shove air in your nose while you're sleeping. Pretty much, because it forces, like, it forces whatever is, like, stopping you from breathing to stay open. Is, like, the layman's term of it. So then you will breathe, goddammit! But what doesn't help is I'm, like, 250-some pounds. And, like, weight does play a factor in whether or not you, like, develop sleep apnea. At least as far as I'm aware. The doctor looked at me with that knowing look when I started talking about it, when I was talking about, like, how I'm heavier set. Like, yeah, your weight affects it. You know what I mean? So, my ass has just gotta work out. But, like, sleep apnea... It can be a chronic thing that you live with the rest of your life, or you can make some lifestyle changes and it can improve. It might not improve. But it definitely makes it worse. I had a friend whose mom was really overweight. Passed away in her sleep from sleep apnea pretty young. Don't tell me that. I'm already nervous about the fact that I apparently stopped breathing in my sleep. But that explains so much about my days. You even explains so much about right now how I feel. You know? And how, like, caffeine apparently didn't do jack shit. It's because, like, I didn't get quality sleep. Why didn't I get quality sleep?
Because for all intents and purposes, my brain got the equivalent of about 4 hours of sleep. And during that 4 hours, my body, like, barely got enough oxygen to rest.
Those are, like, spitball, not actually accurate numbers, by the way. But yeah, bottom line, if you're having a shitty time sleeping, maybe talk to your doctor about it. But yeah, fingers crossed is like, you know, I'm on the CPAP machine for a while. My sleep improves. Because my sleep improves, I get more motivation, more will to do more things. I start to exercise more. I start to lose weight. I start to, you know, lose that worsened sleep apnea because it's moderate right now. And I can, like, start to, you know, sleep better without a CPAP. I ask the sleep doctor for another test. We find out, like, maybe it's now mild to gone. And I don't need a CPAP anymore. Modern smartwatches also monitor SpO2 while sleeping. Not foolproof, but better than nothing. I might want to invest in one of those then. Because it'd probably be a damn sight better than not having nothing. Not having nothing. Not having anything. But yeah, this was a weird stream. I wanted to play it mostly focusing on Risk of Rain 2. I had my best run that I've ever had. So that's neat. And then we started talking about bullshit in the gaming industry, as well as weird shit that Square's doing. And now I have questions about how that's affecting people. They don't continually monitor, but they spot checks over the night, can monitor trends. Okay. I mean, hey, if it spot checks and it's like, you're dying, I'm going to make your phone beep at you until you wake up, I would be fine with that. But yeah, Dove is still currently streaming Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Cool, Triforce Hunt. Yeah, no, we're raiding Dove. Also, why are you laughing about talking to a doctor, Nox?
Is there something there that I should know about?
Anyway. Folks, thank you very much for sticking around to the end of the stream. I have YouTube content in the pipeline. I'm just still working on finishing up my no weapon, no shield run. Although a quiver is technically classified as a weapon. You know, you can't do that. Alright. But as far as I'm concerned, a quiver in Last Epoch is a fucking stat stick. Because there's... It doesn't even show on the character model, for fuck's sakes. Quickly send Mana Mary Skelter. Do not. Do not. But yeah, your time is one of your most valuable resources. Whether you spend a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, etc. here on the stream, just listening and lurking or actively participating in the chat. I mean, lurkers will make the world go around. Trust me. But I like talking to people in general. I like talking about games that I'm interested in, much as, like, maybe I'm not the most interested in Risk of Rain 2. I understand its impact on, like, folks that play roguelites. And, like, I'm doing my best to actually, like, try and enjoy it a little bit, even while I'm being critical of it. But even then, it's very much like a... This felt very mindless for me. And that's not always what I'm into as far as games are concerned. But maybe that's something you're into. Go ahead and give Risk of Rain 2 a try. I think it's a cool game. I'm just not very into it. I couldn't tell you why. Fine, I'll find a game on your wish list. You don't have to buy me a game, Nox. What the fuck? Never have to financially support this stream. I'm not saying you don't have to if you want to. I'm saying that it's not necessary, like, to keep the stream running. You also don't have to gift me games. It is appreciated if you do, but don't feel obligated. Anyway, let me start that raid to Dove. There's the raid channel button. I'm not raiding somebody playing Risk of Rain 2, but that is cool. Because when I pulled up raid a channel, the first thing that pulled up is a bunch of people in the Risk of Rain 2 category. That's neat. So that way you guys can keep seeing content that you're actually interested in. That's really cool. Do I have Ni no Kuni 1? No. Anyway. Dove! Red Mage Dove. A little bit of a variety streamer. They tend to stick to challenge runs, namely for the Final Fantasy variety. But they are a red mage in the most obvious sense, and they are a jack of all trades. They play a little bit of everything. Currently playing an Ocarina of Time randomizer. Triforce Hunt. It's like they're currently in Damp Pays Race. If you don't know what that is, that's fine. But we're rating them. I saw 2 on my wish list. Fair. Folks, thank you very much for... I already said that. Folks, please remember that you're always welcome here at Mono's Potion. And I will see you next time. Look, I'm a little drunk. Give me a little bit of leeway, okay? Or don't. That's fine.